Hello, welcome back to the Story Game Podcast, Episode 5. We have a special guest on, Julian Stern, but before we get to that...
I'm Aman, and I'm with my co-host Arjun, who you just heard. And like he said, welcome back to the Story Game.
Our special guest today is Julian Stern. He's a writer, director, editor, and comedian with a new sketch show, which we'll talk about later. But
Hello!
And he's also a friend of ours from the film school.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, big
From
coincidence.
the film school.
Can I just say I'm beaming right now? Like, I've been listening to every episode, and I'm just like, yay!
Yeah.
I'm happy to be
So
here.
Julian's the first guest to actually do his homework and listen to all the episodes. He's got a notebook, which he's going to apparently take notes, so we're super excited. I'm a little nervous because I feel like he's going to be a challenging guest.
Yeah.
And I don't, challenging might be a strong word, but I would say I've been listening to every episode, and I've been trying to see if there's anything in your guys' voices by telling your stories, whether they could be true or false, that I could detect. I haven't found anything. And I thought I did, but it turns out I was wrong when I made my guess.
What did you think what did you think our tell was?
Well, I thought for like Arjun, one tell was that sometimes when he tells like a story, some of the details will be fuzzy. Like I think there was one time where like you were high and you were telling like there was like it was one of the stories where you got high and it's like, oh, the details are kind of fuzzy because I don't remember because I was high, and I thought, oh, that's a tell because he's not going to give away too many details.
Wait, that's a tell that it's true or false?
I thought it was false because you're skipping out on details, and it turns out I think that story was true.
Yeah, I think it was the slap story.
It was
right?
the slap story.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I thought.
So, I don't know, maybe you're also bluffing, pretending that you haven't figured out a tell that you have.
You think I'm really playing the long
Maybe.
haul here?
That's how you play the Story Game Podcast, man. The long haul is the only haul to go.
It's not even about the stories. It's just about the mind games
Yeah.
at work.
Literally.
Yeah,
It's crazy the amount of times we've been called sociopaths sitting at this table just because the guests are like, what is wrong with you? How can you lie like that?
Yeah.
But-
So, yeah. When I tricked Willow, I did like a thing with my face, like a smile, and she got
Right.
tricked at the last minute and
Right.
switched it.
She
So
tripped up.
that's why she was upset that me being a sociopath. Anyway, let's start the game, shall we?
Yeah, let's get started.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry. Before we begin, we should recap the rules for
Right.
first-time listeners. The first rule is that your story, the main sort of part of your story, the main crux of your story has to be completely true or completely false. You can't just change one small detail, say like, oh, my shirt was red, and then at the end of it say, oh, it's false because actually my shirt was blue or something, right? Like this, like a significant chunk of it has to be like made up or completely true. Sorry.
Yeah, the second rule is that we're looking for stories of the perfect length, not too short, not too long. Not too short, like it can't just be a small little anecdote that like, oh, this happened. If it's something small, like try and dress it up a little, add some conflict, make it interesting, give us an arc. But also don't be too long, this is a long podcast as it is, so let's not have, let's not stretch it out to 2 hours. But yeah, I'm sure you can figure that out.
And yeah, rule number 3, again, super simple. You can't claim somebody else's story as your own. So, unless it was like an incident that happened to someone where you were involved, if for example, oh, my brother broke his leg because of me, then you can tell that story. But you can't tell a story about something happening to your brother independently, just because we can't really verify details, and then okay, it's a true story for him, but it didn't really happen to you.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
The core concept has to be like the core concept of your story is either true or false, and it
Yeah.
has to have to do with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has to involve you in some way.
And so, like, it can be a story about your brother as long as you're there, I don't know if you have a brother, but...
I'm an only child.
Well, it can be a story about your friend, but as long as you're involved in the story, you have to be in it.
Absolutely.
Participant in the story. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be the protagonist.
You have to be the protagonist, yeah.
You don't have to be the protagonist.
Well, I mean, you have to be involved. Main character.
You can be a main
syndrome.
character.
You gotta have-
part of the ensemble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have main character syndrome.
Yeah. literally.
Yes, basically. Okay, so I'll be starting, then, right? Okay. So, since we were talking earlier about Aman's weed incident, I figure I will tell a story that is more believable to be true, to be a weed incident.
Okay.
So, back in my smoking days, my high days, as we as I don't call them, but okay. Anyway, it was in like 11th grade, I think, and it was after a serious exam, like a midterm exam of some sort. I think it was Christmas break, so we were really psyched and hyped. They put a lot of pressure on us for these exams. And we knew a guy named Faraz, right? And he was a guy from Bahrain. So his parents lived in Bahrain, but he had an apartment in Pune, and he would board with he was a boarder, which means that he lived on campus in Bishops. And anyway, so he had an apartment that he could go to after the exams, and then he would fly out later. So he was throwing like a house party after, but it wasn't like an alcohol house party. It was like a weed house party.
A weed house party.
Yeah, so it was a good time. We were really excited. You know, we finished our exams, and we go over on my scooter, or no, not my scooter. Sorry, I don't think I had it at that time. But anyway, we go over somehow. I can't remember how. But anyway, we go over. I'm pretty sure it was in a rickshaw, which is a kind of taxi cab, and we show up. There's alcohol, but you know, not a lot. We're smoking a lot of weed, right? And we show up there, and Faraz is already passed out on the couch. He's like, what's it called? Greened out is what they call it here in California.
You went unconscious?
No, not like unconscious.
Oh, okay.
He was just like, he smoked a ton, and he was just on the couch, like kind of
just completely
sleeping.
faded.
But yeah, he was totally gone.
Yeah.
Like, and there were a bunch of other people there, some people who we'd never met, so we were kind of just like hanging out with them and smoking weed with them. And then this is the point in the night where things just became crazy weird, right? So there was me and my closest friend at the time, Nick Hill, who big pothead, awesome guy, but he specifically like we were just kind of getting to know each other since it was the beginning of or middle of 11th grade, and we knew each other well, but we were getting to know the other people in our class. And this one guy, who is now a very close friend named Pranoy, he shows up with some of his old classmates, and these guys, you know, I hope they're not listening, but these guys are the weirdest guys that I've ever met in my life, dude. Like, they talked like they were like 50-year-old uncles, as we call them, like 50-year-old dudes, you know. It was just the weirdest experience. And you can imagine, because I was, you know, this is at the beginning of my weed smoking career, so I was getting high, and I was just super like fever dreamish, you know, like these guys were goblins, and they're the weirdest people, dude. Like, and Nikhil and I were just looking at each other like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And finally we're just like, you know what, fuck this, dude. And I look at Nikhil and I'm like, yo, can we get the fuck out of here, dude? And we just exit, right? We make a quick, swift leave, right? And so this is where we fucked up. We shouldn't have left. And like, when we got outside, we felt like, you know, super calm and super like, okay, we're out of this totally weird experience. But we fucked up in the sense that we didn't just head home immediately. We were like, yo, let's go for a walk, right? And this is in an area that's little sus. Little sus in terms of, like, this is where we'd score our weed, where we'd buy weed.
Is it like Skid Row level or no?
I don't know. It's not like, it's a different kind of sus, like not homeless population and stuff. It's more like, you know, people selling drugs, police presence, you know.
Just sketchy characters on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so we're heading back, and we're just kind of walking on the road, and we're really high to the point where we're not even thinking of like going home, right? We're not even thinking of like, oh, this is time to go home. We should call a rickshaw. We should, you know, figure this out. It's probably 2 a.m., 1 a.m., something like that. We're walking on the road, and, you know, we're loudly talking about like dumb shit like movies or like music or some shit like that, right? And like these cops, right? So they travel on motorcycles. These two cops, they show up, they're driving past us, they see us, right? And they slow down, and like instantly my heart stops, anxiety like rushes through my body, and like Nikhil's like, don't look at them, just keep walking straight. And I, like, my head turns though, for some reason. Naturally, my head turns, and they see my head turn, and they stop, and they're like, okay, and they get off the bike. They come over to us, and this is actually like kind of like traumatic for me. This is really scary because it was like, they show up and they're really intense, dude. Like, I was like, my knees were shaking too because I was just like a kid in front of these cops, and they were like burly dudes, like clearly trying to like intimidate us and stuff. And they were like, they were trying to get us like, where's the party? Like, take us to the party. And we're like, you know, we're gonna go to the party. Everyone's gonna get fucked and stuff. And then they just kept interrogating us, and we were just kind of like we're just kind of standing there, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take you in. And we're like, no, please, you know, please, we're just students. And then Nikhil had the brilliant idea of taking both our wallets and taking out our school IDs and giving it to them. And they took it and they looked at it, and they put it in their pockets, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are we gonna do if they show up to our school? And they're like, we found these guys stoned as fuck at 2 a.m. in fucking Mundwa. And they have our IDs, and I'm freaking out, and we're kind of just begging them, like literally half an hour passes of us just being like, please, we're so sorry, please. And you know, the whole time my body's literally vibrating because I'm so nervous, right? And then, so here's the weird part, right? This is this is why I feel like Aman's story is so crazy, is because they didn't ask us, like, so they were like, okay, so they're finally, I guess they give up. They're like, okay, these guys are fucking idiots, you know, just let them go home or whatever. And they're like, okay, you can go get a rickshaw and get out of here. They give us our IDs back, and they're like, you have money, right? And we're like, yeah, we have money. And they're like, how much money do you have? And they're like, you know, we have $500 or whatever, $200, $300. And they're like, they're like, okay, so give it to us, you know. And we're like, well, you know, that's like, we needed to get home. We needed to go in the rickshaw and stuff. And they actually didn't even take it from us.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they didn't even take, because we're like, yeah, we need to get home in the rickshaw. And we took the rickshaw home. But then here's the scary part. Here's the part. So we were heading home in the rickshaw, and we were like exhausted, like never gonna do this shit again. And I peek out the window, and I see that they're following us. And then I'm like, dude, they're gonna come upstairs and, like, you know, extort my parents or whatever. And so Nikhil and I are like, we're in the back of this rickshaw, and we're trying to formulate a fucking plan, trying to figure out what the fuck do we do. And so our plan is this. What we do is we pay the rickshaw driver, like, while he's driving us, we pay him our money, and we're like, we just take the whatever. It was much more than what we were actually supposed to give. And we drive to my building, right in front of my building. As soon as we drive to the building, we get out and we run up the steps, and we camp out on the second floor, okay? And we're just sitting there for like an hour, like quiet as fuck, just don't say anything. And Nikhil calls his brother to come and pick us up later, and he comes, picks us up, and or sorry, not us, Nikhil. He picks up Nikhil. The cops weren't there, and to this day, I still believe that they were following us. But Nikhil says maybe we could have just been paranoid, and we saw like another scooter, motorcycle with police officers. But what is the odds of that happening? Another motorcycle with police officers?
Quite high, dude. They know those areas have like parties or whatever, and they just like roam around and extort kids.
I don't know.
The thing is, okay, I'll let you ask a question.
Oh, sure.
That's my story, yeah.
But yeah.
That's a story. That's a story.
That is a story. It's similar to my story. I think mine was unbelievable to you because you know I don't smoke.
Yeah, but this is believable because, well, I smoke.
Well,
or
maybe.
I used to.
I will say it's a little more obvious knowing Arjun for a bit that, like, not that no judgment. I just, like, I've been to your room before. I've smelled it.
Yeah.
I've gotten the scent. But, like, also you could have been, like, I mean, I think I've been in your Amon's room before, and like I don't,
Maybe.
you just have edibles in there, so like
I don't really do edibles actually.
I'm
So
just,
There's no way.
no.
maybe
There's no way he has edibles in his
a
room.
lot of my roommates that I've lived with did smoke.
Mhm.
So my room might have like, especially my freshman year roommate,
Oh.
dude, this guy didn't leave the room.
Oh no.
And he would just sit in bed fucking ripping his bong. And it was after a while I was like, bro, you can't keep doing, like, you
He's
gotta.
getting his nasal polyps, bro.
Bro,
Imagine.
Oh my
No,
god.
but also like the room would just
Really?
smell, dude.
Oh, he'd hotbox it.
Yeah, and it would just like stink for
Oh.
like days after. This dude didn't really shower. It was a weird.
Oh, that
Let's hope
sounds
he's
like
not
a weird
listening.
guy.
He
Yeah.
left USC after that year because like he never fucking went to class, dude. Because all he was
Because
doing,
all they do is rip that bong,
Yeah.
hotbox the room.
dude, this guy would wake up, boom, like
Ooh.
it was crazy, dude. This guy was.
See,
Shit, man.
It's that kind of thing my parents were worried about when I went to college,
Mm.
and I luckily I proved them wrong freshman year because I got good grades. But it's also that story of like cops trailing is like that's something you hear about from time to
Yeah.
time where it's like because like yeah no
Does that happen in America? Would that happen? They would probably just take you in, right, in America?
well it depends. It's all different because there's a lot of racial politics on who gets in prison.
Probably, bro. Yeah, shit.
Who just gets like a warrant, like gets like a finger wagged at them and said, "Oh,
Mhm.
you're getting off on this one, young man," and then they let them go.
Shit, yeah. Would they take? They wouldn't take bribes though here in America.
I think they would take the bribe and then say, "Oh, also they bribed me and I brought them in,"
Oh,
because people get in prison for like 5 years for that.
yeah, that's rough.
In
dude.
India, like the bribe is just expected.
Yeah,
Like if you don't offer them a bribe,
Really?
they will like ask you for a bribe.
they will
Can't
like, but they
just-
can't explicitly ask
Yeah.
you, right? They would be more like
Pay us a
You know,
fine.
pay us a fine,
a
but
fine, yeah.
what we could do is I could handle the fine, and you like so. What common thing is they like a traffic stop. They'd be like, you would have to show up in court to pay the fine, and
Right.
that might happen whenever. You might have to go to some faraway court. So I'll just handle it
Yeah.
and give me half the fine.
That's
So
the
yeah.
extortion thing is way scarier though, especially if they know where you live.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
I'll ask some I do have 2 questions from the story.
Ask away, good sir.
Absolutely. So, okay, first question is because I remember one time that again did my homework, but I remember one time you said you had a Vespa.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if the story's true or not. You said you had a Vespa and that you were in high school during this, but you didn't have a Vespa this time, and you rode in what? And what was it called to get to the party?
A rickshaw.
A rickshaw, yeah,
Rickshaw.
probably. Or I might have gone with a friend. We might have gotten a ride, but I don't remember.
Did you get high before the party?
Yes,
Okay,
for sure.
gotcha. And okay, so my second question is: so what did these goblins, these people, like,
Yeah.
what was it? Whose friends was it?
So it was my friend. Wait, first let me address the Vespa question.
Sure,
Because
sure.
that's a fair question. I think, I'm pretty sure this party was in December, somewhere around Christmas time, because it was around that break.
Mhm.
And I did get my Vespa in February, which kind of for my birthday,
Okay.
of the year. So 11th grade, February.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got it then. So
You got it during 11th grade, but it was just a couple months later.
yeah, a couple months in February for
Okay.
my birthday, I think.
When is your birthday?
February.
I should know that. I don't know you guys' birthdays. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
What's your birthday?
Yeah.
May 7th?
Oh yeah. I did wish you actually a while ago.
Did you?
Maybe.
I think so.
I might not have. I'm sorry. but
Yeah, I remember that.
His is July 20.
That's just wrong.
No, June 23rd. My
Yeah,
bad.
June
My bad.
23rd.
June 23rd, February
25th.
25th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arjun hates people knowing his birthday.
Really?
What do I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Like on Facebook, if you look up his birthday, it just says February. And so the one time I discovered the day of his birthday, finally I posted it on my Instagram story just to piss him off. Because then that whole day in class, people were like, "Oh, happy birthday, Arjun!" And he was like, "Why do people know?"
I just feel a little awkward, because people would. Anyway,
You know, you have a good friend when he does that sort of thing out of spite.
yeah, just to fuck with you.
yeah, love
Um,
it. But yeah, your goblin question.
Goblin question. Yeah, so my question is though, what did they do exactly to make you and Nick want to
Dude,
leave the party?
it was weird, man. Okay, yeah, this is one thing that if Nikhil was here, he would tell it with this detail added. This dude, he was completely bald. And look, I don't want to make fun of that because he had some skin condition or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But he was completely bald, huge, like not like muscular, but like really fat, like really overweight.
Okay.
He shows up to the party, and these guys are like just really rowdy, really loud. There's a bottle of like Hershey's, or not, some chocolate sauce, and
Huh?
You get those Hershey's chocolate sauce.
Oh,
like you
topping
put
for
on
ice
vanilla
cream.
ice cream.
For some reason, I thought it was like an Arrowhead bottle. It's just filled with Hershey's chocolate sauce.
No, there was a bottle of like chocolate vanilla ice cream topping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is also around the time where Nicola and I were kind of getting into like health and like, you know, doing yoga and, you know, working out and stuff and eating healthy.
Really high as well, right? I love
No,
those.
getting high is actually really healthy. So, you know, let's not get on the high ground over here, right? But anyway, this guy shows up totally bald, overweight as fuck. He literally sits down, takes a couple hits, and like, yo, chocolate sauce? And then he picks up this bottle and squirts it in his fucking mouth for like 3 seconds, dude. And Nicola and I were just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? This guy's a fucking maniac. That was just one thing that happened, dude. There was a multitude of things.
That these guys did, these goblins.
Yeah. And look, Pranay is a close friend now, but he's still one of the weirdest guys I've ever met. And I won't get into that now. I don't want to get into all that political stuff. But yeah, you can imagine how his school friends were. They were crazy weird. I also met one of them a couple years later, I think, and I was buying acid off of him, and he was really chill. But like I think he'd mellowed out. You know, it was a different.
I love how the fact that he was an acid dealer wasn't the part that was like crazy. It was the part where he ate chocolate sauce out of the bottle.
No, he wasn't an acid dealer back then.
Okay.
I mean, also I bought acid from him like many a month later. So.
Okay. True.
But isn't that weird to you? The chocolate sauce thing.
I think for the sake of like, it's a party where you get high and it's like, it's supposed to be like kind of mellowed out. And then I can understand like if there's 4 or 5 guys who come in are just like, yeah, let's drink chocolate sauce.
3 guys. Yeah.
3 guys, okay.
It's not just that, dude. The way they were talking, I can't even describe it to you because I don't even know how to. But it was just bro, like, you know, Indian uncles, like the way they talk.
Yeah.
That's how they were talking, bro. Like, I don't know what the equivalent would be, but like, imagine like an old uncle, like a weird distant uncle that just talks really weird. That's how they were talking.
I can completely understand that.
Yeah, the image of Arjun just being so sussed by this like hairless chubby dude eating chocolate sauce is so funny to me.
And the other dude was like, he's 6'5". He's like a giant, like an actual giant, and he's also overweight as fuck too. And
Why
he's
you-
just look. I'm not making fun of him for being overweight.
Yeah, what
I'm
are you
just
doing,
painting a
guys?
picture, okay? But he was also fucking weird, man. Like, and I just remember sitting next to him, like hunched over, like a small, like man compared to him, and this guy's eating chocolate sauce. We're passing around a joint, and I'm just like, you know, I try to take the smallest hit possible because I don't want to get even more high. Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
They're just sitting around, just passing each other the chocolate sauce for like a straight hour.
No, it was just one-off thing. It was just a one-off thing. This guy goes, he takes the chocolate sauce, just squirts it in his mouth. He's like, chocolate sauce!
I just like to imagine the other guys are just like, bro, pass that over.
Yeah.
And the
As you pass on the
the
joint,
crazy
you get the chocolate sauce one by one going down the circle.
The crazy thing is that his friends didn't even think it was weird. They were just like, yo, this guy's on some shit. They didn't even like address it, dude. They're just like, yeah, let's keep smoking weed or whatever.
Well, yeah, they're the goblin crowd.
Yeah, it was insane, dude.
Wow.
I think we've been sidetracked. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not on you at all. It's my bad. But yeah, do you have more questions? Do you
I
have-
think that's about. Oh, okay. I'm just curious. They gave you guys your IDs back.
Yeah.
Why did they give you? Why did you? They pocketed them and then they gave it back to you.
I'm guessing it was just because, like, they took pity on us because we were so clearly so stupid and, like, you know.
But you also had cash on you.
Yeah, but so what I'm guessing is they gave it back in the sense to make us feel safe, and also be like, okay, took pity on these guys, make them feel safe, let them go home, follow them home, knock on their door, parents open up, give us cash, that kind of thing. But that could be just a part of my, imagination, I guess.
You could have been paranoid because you
Yeah.
were high. Okay.
But I don't think I was. I'm pretty sure I saw
Like
these fuckers on this motorcycle, dude. Yeah.
Okay. I think I've got enough information. I'd pass it to Aman. Sorry for taking over.
No, of course not. It's your round, dude.
What
have
do you
to take
what do you
over.
think?
Yeah, what do you think?
True or false?
That was, first off, I just want to say that was a really good story, and
Thanks.
man, I'm gonna say false.
False.
And I'm going to say false. Here's why. Because certain things didn't add up. The Vespa for me just didn't fully add up. The reason why the cops would take your IDs, pocket them, ask for cash, and then just give them back to you kind of makes sense. But I feel like if they were going to, like, if they wanted to get more money, if they were that corrupt, I think they definitely would have followed you. It's just really those two things that are bumping for me. But I like this story. This is a fun story.
Yeah. Okay. Are you locking that in?
I'm going to lock in false.
Okay.
I am fairly certain it's true. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm.
I think it's true. I might be wrong, but it's so like heartwarming to me that you said, oh, if they were actually that corrupt, when every fucking cop in India is that corrupt. Dude,
Oh, then
like,
again. Oh.
but see, I mean, again, it's part of the game. But I'm not sure. The chocolate sauce story, definitely true, but that was like a footnote. So that. Like,
It's a good detail, though.
yeah, but that could have been like, that wasn't the crux of the story, right? So
No.
that could have been true. I mean, false is a reasonable guess. What I think true though. What is it? Well, let's give the audience a second to lock in there.
Yeah, audience, lock in your answers.
It's true.
It's true.
It's a true story, dude.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
The whole thing is, everything from the frickin' chocolate sauce to this guy being bald and fucking
The guy
Faraz
being
passed
bald,
out on the
an
couch.
important detail.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah, that was a great story.
Thanks, man. But yeah, good thing I tricked you. It's interesting that you thought it was false because of the cops giving back the idea. Even, I don't really understand why they would do that.
I think they would do it because like initially they were like trying to threaten you, and then eventually they were like, it's not even worth it because these kids really clearly don't have that much money on them. Like the hassle to take them in is not even worth it, right? Because if you take them in, then you can't go around getting money from like other people who would be in the area. So they were just like, okay, fuck this, take it back, give us cash, let's move on.
Oh, yeah, because there are other parties in the area, they could find someone else who has more money.
Possibly,
instead of wasting
yeah.
their time with people who don't have that much.
That's what I suspect.
I'm pretty damn sure they were following us home. And that's not, like, you don't hallucinate things when you're high.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you
I
do.
mean, I don't
Well,
know.
you can.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't hallucinate a whole two cops on a motorcycle right next to the rickshaw.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
That was a good story. One of my favorite parts of that story is
Sure.
there were so many like phrases while you were saying it that could have easily been like the title of your debut album, like Weed House Party or High 2 a.m. in Munda or whatever. What is that place called?
Mundwa, yeah.
Mundwa.
Best place to score weed in Pune at the time. They had unlaced weed, which is extremely rare.
Unlaced.
Yeah.
What is unlaced?
Unlaced, like not tampered with. They
Oh.
put shit like in weed in India, dude, like heroin, shoe
Oh.
polish,
Why shoe polish?
anything that just gets you fucked, man.
Shoe polish?
Shoe
It's
polish.
just like poison.
Yeah, I have no.
Rat poison. Yeah, they put rat
That
poison.
just kills you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
but no, it gets you fucked, right? Because you're not necessarily consuming it to the degree that you're gonna die, but it gets you like fucking, and people are like, whoa, gets me high, right? So
I know about like the whole. I know whippets get people high, but it's like
Yeah.
it takes away brain cells like nothing else.
Yeah, crazy, dude.
yeah,
I love how this has become like a drug podcast, right?
drug podcast.
Well, because the drug stories are some of the best.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
Oh
That's
boy.
true.
Anyway, is it my turn?
Yeah,
It's
it's
your
your
turn,
turn.
dude.
Yeah,
I'm
Man,
excited for this
it's
one.
my turn.
Let's
Okay.
hear it, dude.
All right. Cool. I just go.
You just
Yeah,
go.
just
yeah.
We might like interrupt you if we have
Absolutely.
questions.
I was gonna say sorry about that if that was a thing. I
No,
know-
no. We're interrupting as much as we can.
Great.
We want to try and trip you up on details. but,
Absolutely. Okay. I'll just go then.
Just go, dude.
Okay. So here's the story. When I was 8 years old, my dad and I went on a 1-week cruise in Indonesia. We were going to Bali to visit my mom because she was just on vacation there. My mom doesn't like to travel. She likes to go, in kind of like luxury. So she just took a plane to Bali and stayed at this resort. My dad wanted to take a cruise. My mom didn't want to go. So
they took a cruise all the way to Bali.
Sorry, we didn't actually go from America to Indonesia. We stopped somewhere and then it was a cruise around the islands.
Okay, that's good.
I didn't flip the coin and my dad won the quote unquote won the coin toss and was like, Julian, you're coming with me. We're going on this cruise. And I'm like, but I want to be with my mom because I'm I'm an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But we go on this cruise. It's really fun. And there's one island we went to in particular that I'll never forget. And that was Komodo Island. It's an island, as the name suggests, filled with Komodo dragons. And they've been there for over 3 million years. It's a small island in I think South Indonesia. And it's really cool. Because when we got there, there's nothing really much there as far as I remember. I remember as an 8-year-old kid, a year before, my dad showed me Jurassic Park. And as a kid, I'm like, I don't like blood or guts. I don't like any gore. And it's a movie where dinosaurs attack people. So I was very scared. We watched it, and there's a scene in Jurassic Park where the guy who plays Newman on Seinfeld gets mauled to death. You know what I'm talking about? He gets mauled to death in this Jeep. And I'm like, turn it off. Turn it off. I don't want to watch it anymore. Newman just got eaten. Of course, I didn't know at the time it was Newman. But I had that in my head when we were getting on the island, because in my mind I had never really seen a picture of a Komodo dragon. My dad was like, "Oh, you're gonna want to see them. They're awesome." Because I guess he's seen them on the internet or pictures, and I was imagining full-fledged dinosaurs roaming around the island as an 8-year-old kid. And
Komodo dragon, right? So
yeah.
Fire-breathing monsters.
Because here's the thing about them is that although they don't breathe fire, their mouths are incredibly poisonous. If you get bitten by them, the bacteria in their saliva takes you out.
Yeah, okay.
Really? How out? Are you dead instantly, or is it?
I don't know. It's kind of it's just you're essentially it's like in an RPG you're poisoned.
Okay.
You
lose 5 HP per second.
Yeah. Every step you take, you lose 5 HP, and it keeps building.
This story's false. Get out of here. Go on.
But so my dad did tell me he told me that it's oh, don't get bitten by him. I'm like, why? It's just a bite. He's like, no. The saliva, it kills you. And he said in a French accent, it kills you. You will die, my Jew. And he called me because I'm his son. He's like, my Jew, you will be killed by these things. And I'm like, okay, good to know. Can we skip this island? He's like, no. You're gonna be a man. You're gonna get on this island. I'm like, I really don't want to.
Get on the island?
Yeah, no, because it's a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this I think the idea is crazy. It's like an open safari. You walk around this island, and it's filled with nothing but Komodo dragons and deer and wild boar. There's a food chain. It's a small island, but it's big enough for it's not just dominated by the Komodos.
Damn. Okay.
So we get on the island, and we're walking around. We have a tour guide with us. And it's this old guy with a big stick. And I'm like, our only defense system right now is just a group of 10 people and this one dude with this giant branch. And it's I don't know what you're planning on doing with that branch, but that is definitely not going to help us. And while we're walking on the island, I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. I'm looking over my back. And I'm like, I just kept picturing in my head one of these things crawling up next to me and just taking my ankle and yanking me into the bushes. I was trying to hold my dad's hand. He's like, no, you're 8 years old. You're a man. I'm like, what? What do they do in France that makes you think an 8-year-old can survive in the wilderness filled with Komodo dragons?
Oh, man.
So I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm a little paranoid. And we end up getting to this one part where there's a Komodo dragon laying in the shade under this tree by a rock. And the tour guide huddles us all around. He's like, look, this guy, he's calm. He's being calm. And we're all huddling around. And I'm staying a little far back. I don't really want to be this close to this thing. The tour guide notices me. And he says, you, come over here. And I'm like, me? And he's like, yeah, you. And it's I guess he noticed because I was the most scared. So I walk over, And I'm like, Dad, is this okay? And he's like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. The tour guide says, touch the tail of the Komodo dragon. And I'm like, can't really do that. I don't think my dad would say that. And I look to my dad, and he looks down and he's like, do it. And I'm like, Dad, come on, buddy, I'm 8 years old here. Let's talk about this. And he's like, no, do what the man said. And I'm like, okay. I go over to the Komodo dragon. Again, this whole time I'm thinking like these things will like latch onto you at any given moment. I go down. I'm near the back. I'm trying to get as far away from the head as possible. I touch the tail of the Komodo dragon right at the end. Its head moves up. I touch it again. Its head moves down. So for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, I turn back to the tour guide. He's like, yep, that's what happens. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. And I did it a bunch of other times.
What do you mean his head?
Literally, I don't know what else to say. I touched the tail. Its head went up. I touched it again. Its head went down.
Whoa.
It doesn't... And completely docile. I thought like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. And I'm like, I felt more comfortable around it. And after a while, like the tour guide was just explaining, yeah, for some reason, like I don't remember his explanation, but he was just like, this is what happens when you touch a Komodo dragon's tail. And as I turn around and I'm like walking back, and I'm like, I'm like disengaging myself with the dragon because I'm comfortable with its presence. Its head slowly turns to me, and the tour guide notices. He takes his branch and slams it, like not on the head of the dragon, but just like kind of near it, between me and the dragon. He's like, and he looked at me and says, never turn your back on these animals. And I'm like, I was doing that the whole time. And just as I got comfortable, that happens. And yeah, but everything else was fine. We got off the island, we continued our cruise, and that was my little adventure on Komodo Island.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
That wasn't too long.
No, that's
perfect.
perfect.
Oh, thanks.
Great story,
Thank you.
I have to say.
Yeah, your dad sounds like a crazy army drill sergeant or something.
That's how he would always say, like, you're going to military school because I watch TV too much.
True.
Yeah, it was weird.
I think it's believable because the guide would pick on like the scared 8-year-old boy. That sounds like something that happens on tourist things.
Yeah, the thing is, it sounds so believable.
Yeah.
And it's almost unbelievable. And it's so by the book that I buy every moment. Like that could have happened to either of us.
The only thing I don't buy is like, I don't know, for some reason the island being called Komodo Island. That sounds like something out of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's like colloquially called Komodo Island. I don't think that's the official name.
Well, if I could,
Uh-huh.
I think it's called that because it's more of like a tourist title for it.
Uh-huh.
So people can come in and it's just like, oh, it's called Komodo Island. That's
Okay.
neat.
I
That's
guess
cool.
so. That's interesting.
What? So you were 8. So it was like 2007, maybe.
Yeah, around 2007. Yes.
Yeah, that's when we were 8.
I was
Right?
like second grade, third grade.
What does this questioning of like the year have to do with anything?
Because I always want to see like if the years match up. Okay. Yeah, 2007, 2008. What was the cruise? What company ran the cruise? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember this. There was this really big yellow ship that I was like, it looked luxurious. It looked like it had slides on the top. I'm like, that's so cool, Dad. We're going to go on that cruise. And he's like, no, we're going on that. And I turned to my left, and there's like this wooden boat. It's just like really small, like a big boat, small in comparison to the yellow yacht. And I'm just like, the smile on my face just goes like from really beaming to like, I'm just like slowly getting more and more disappointed. Like, I'm going to spend a week on that. I look like I'm going to get splinters. Yeah, a week.
Oh.
He said that.
Well, the cruise was like a week long.
Interesting.
I'm like,
I didn't catch
Was it
that.
fun? What
it was incredible.
were the activities on board?
The activities it's not like that traditional cruise line where it's not like what's that? It's not like Carnival.
Okay.
It's like all the activities were snorkeling, going from island to island. It was kind of like a boat where like there weren't activities on board. Like the only activity we did was play Uno, which was a lot of fun.
Great game.
Great game.
Believable. This is a believable part.
But most of the activities were just like we'd hop into certain parts of the ocean.
Did you snorkel?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't need to add more.
No, please
No,
do.
go,
dude.
please.
Yeah.
There was one time we were snorkeling, and there was this clam at the bottom of where we were, and I was trying because I thought I saw a pearl in it. Because like as an 8-year-old, I'm like, oh dude, clams have pearls. I could be rich. I tried to dive down to get it. It's like 30 feet below. It's like my ears would not let me. And my dad sees me and he like takes me and pulls me back up. It's like, do not do that again. He like gets really mad about it because like I guess I was endangering my life because we were with a bunch of other people and he didn't want me to get lost. But yeah, those are the kind of activities we were doing.
Interesting.
It holds up, dude. This is a believable story. I'm trying to find faults.
I'm thinking it's a bit of a like, you know, not sure because you were too forthcoming with telling us more, you know? Maybe.
So the cruise, I think, is 100% real. I think that happened. I think the vacation happened. I think Komodo Island happened. I don't know. Because I've heard of Komodo Island, but I thought it was in Japan, but maybe it was Indonesia. Maybe.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. I think I'm leaning towards just true right now.
Yeah, you locking it in?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll lock it in. I'll lock in true.
I'm also gonna lock in true. So this means just before you give us the answer, you're either gonna like get 2 points, amazing, or no points. So it's like a, you know, all or nothing situation.
It's either a 2 or 0 situation.
Yeah.
Cool.
The way you're smiling right now makes
it
me want to unlock.
Yeah, we
Really
locked
in. So
hit us with it, dude.
Are you sure you don't want to unlock? You have time.
well, now you're making me thankful that I've locked in.
Okay, we'll give the audience a second to lock in their answers. And
Yeah, lock in.
Audience, lock in your answers, please.
And then Julian, is it true or false?
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Sorry,
true,
I was waiting for the drum roll. Yeah, sorry. No, that's a completely true story. Everything I said was completely true.
It's a great story, dude.
Good story.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was like out of like a, you know, one of those like Journey to the Center of the Earth movies.
Yeah.
Right? The entire setup, and then you go on Komodo Island and you touch the dragon, and like suddenly you have the power of all the
You have the power of lizards now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just turns into a giant lizard, fishes clams out of the ocean. Yeah,
that was a great story, dude. I enjoyed that.
yeah,
you.
good stuff. And you almost
Lost-
tricked us, I think.
No points though, which is bummer.
You know, you have a round 2, and you have more of a chance.
Yeah.
So what are the scores right now? You're at 1.
2.
Oh, he's a
2.
Yeah.
Dude, so Aman's also beaten me every episode so far.
Ooh.
So I need to kind of
Make a comeback.
buckle up my socks, dude. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
1.
I'm 1.
And I'm
And I've got none.
0 right now.
Oh.
That's okay though. You have a second round. We could do daily double
Depending,
for the
yeah.
second round as well.
Oh yeah, totally.
We'll
We
see
could-
how things
I
go.
mean, and then again, if you lose, you get to eat cricket, right? So
It's not that I have to eat a cricket; it's that I get to.
you get to,
I
right?
get to eat a
It's
cricket.
exciting.
Yeah, I want the bacon and cheese. I don't want the bacon and cheese. I want the salt and vinegar.
The salt and vinegar. That's the only one I haven't tried.
Well, if he wants to eat the cricket, let's make it so that if he wins,
Oh, shoot, I
then
should've
only he gets the cricket.
Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that.
It's okay. We'll see. Okay.
No,
The
of course.
cricket is on the table.
The cricket.
Quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
So you can or cannot.
Which
eat
is
it.
unfortunate because sometimes I come eat out here and I'm eating my food and boom, a bunch of crickets right next to me, dude. It's not appetizing at all.
Arjun refuses to eat a cricket. Everyone, his girlfriend has eaten a cricket. All our guests have eaten a cricket. Everyone has eaten a cricket except for Arjun so far.
What's up, buddy? The nutritious.
Wait,
That's what I
McKinley
said.
didn't eat a cricket.
Yeah, McKinley didn't eat a cricket.
Dude,
Oh.
they're not that nutritious, okay? We had this conversation on the podcast earlier as well about how, like, Aman claims that they're super protein rich.
They are high.
They're
protein.
like- supposed to
it's
be?
0.67 grams of protein in
Oh.
one cricket.
Per gram of cricket.
Do you have any idea how many crickets you have to eat to get one chicken breast?
Yeah, but there's so
30
much,
crickets.
There's so
30 fucking
Bro,
crickets.
there's so much tinier. It's like a sunflower seed
Yeah,
that
but I'm
has.
not just gonna be popping 30 fucking crickets in my mouth.
But it's like
Why
a,
not?
Yeah, thank you. Right, my guy. Thank you. It's like a sunflower seed that has like close to 70 grams of like 70% protein. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy numbers.
So do most seeds and nuts, though. So
Okay, maybe not then. But you know, I think I would. We'll get into this later. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think it's the sustainable food of the future.
This debate will continue.
Yes. Over.
Many podcast
Yeah.
episodes. I might try. I don't know. I'm trying to bring myself up to do it. At this point, I just feel like culturally insensitive because I've recently found out they eat crickets in Mexico, like chocolate covered crickets and stuff. I wouldn't mind a chocolate covered cricket though, but
Oh, a chocolate covered, but salt and vinegar is just what? Too
Yeah.
much.
too much salt and vinegar. Come on.
Come on.
No, I don't know, man. It's just like it. And here's my excuse. Even with meat, like I don't like thinking about the animal I'm eating. I just like thinking about, like I don't like thinking, oh, there's a cow or a chicken I'm eating.
I like to think about the animal.
Okay, that's why you can eat the crickets. And,
No, now you have to try a cricket. But we'll get to that.
Sorry.
Let me get to. No, please don't apologize. This is the fun of the podcast.
Okay.
all right, let's do
My
yours.
story.
Yeah.
So this is a classic Aman Nathani story. This is one of those like legendary stories I think from my childhood, and it's the story of how I won't spoil the ending, but it's the story of the football fiesta or the soccer fiesta that used to take place in my school. So up until the 5th grade, I went to this all boys Jesuit school called St. Mary's. Okay, it was an Indian board of education, and the school was like familial to me. So, sorry. My dad went there, my brother went there, my dad's brother went there, my mom's brother went there, my mom's first cousin went there, that's how my mom and dad met. Like, so the school had like history for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had 2 boys, so my brother was in it, so obviously I went to the school. And I loved it, okay? And being an all boys school in the city, like sports were a big deal. Okay, so we would all try and play, we called it football, but we'd all try and play soccer a lot. And so every year they would have something called the football fiesta, and they would club you into grades. So it would be like the first grade and below would be one, second, third, and fourth would be one, fifth, sixth, seventh would be one, etc., etc. Right? So that would be your age group, and they would form like the coaches would form teams, and then you would play like in this tournament against. It was like within the school. So you play against. They would like it'd be on like a Saturday or a Sunday. I think a Saturday, and then they would like literally, you would play, the whole day you'd come and they would host these like 20-minute games or whatever, and you would sort of, it would be like a group stage, and then eventually there'd be a knockout, and then there'd be a final, and each sort of year would have a victory, okay? And they'd give you like jerseys, and it was all amazing. So the one thing that I always did, I'm not gonna lie, I was not the best football player. I'm still not the best football player, but I had fun playing. It's all about the fun, right? Thank you. But also we took it really seriously.
It's
Okay.
about winning.
Yeah, it's also about winning. Okay.
That's what my dad would say.
And so one of the surefire ways to be in a team, like at the start, is if you're a goalkeeper, because no one wants to be goalkeeper. Okay. And the goalkeeper is the quote-unquote captain, because that's the first one picked. So every goalkeeper was the captain of their team, and then they'd get to decide who plays and stuff, whatever. With they'd act like you had power, but the coach would actually decide. But whatever, right? So I would always volunteer to be goalkeeper. So this was in the 4th grade. So I was 8 or 9, and somehow, some way, the team that was given to me was like stacked. Okay, we had all the best players. I think like a bunch of my friends on the team. And the coach just liked us because we were like at that point we were just about to move up to this was like our last year with that coach, and then you go to like the next level because the older kids train with a different coach. So I think he just liked us. We got lucky, whatever. So all the best players were on my team. Okay, so I was captain, whatever. We're having a great tournament. We haven't lost. Okay, I'm doing nothing. I'm pretending to shout commands and stuff. Everyone's treating me like the captain, but I'm just vibing at the back, right? I'm not doing much, having a good time. I haven't conceded a goal yet. Amazing, right? What a statistic. I'm like the best goalkeeper in the world. A real manual lawyer between the sticks. Everything's going amazingly, right? So we win. Amazing. We reach the finals, right? So at this point, we were the favorites to win, right? Because we haven't lost the game. We have the best team. And all of us were friends on the team, good times, great spirits, good laughs, right? The team against us were the underdogs, okay? Because their entire team, so most of my team was made up from kids in my class, so we were the older kids, which is why we had an advantage. But the team that was against us in the final had 2 kids from my grade, and then all the kids were from the grade below, okay? And the reason they had gotten so far this was like a dear friend of mine, who was also named Aman, funny or not. And so he had just sort of like led these boys to like glory, okay? This dude had scored almost every goal. He would like shoot, defend, phenomenal, right? Like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He was a forward, like a.
He was a forward, but he was doing everything. And their captain was the goalkeeper, but like it was very clear that Aman was their captain. Like he had just taken over captaincy, right? And no one complained because he was literally doing everything for them. So we get to the final. Somehow, someway, they get a corner. Do you know what a corner is?
No, what's that?
So if the ball goes out on my side of the goal, but it comes off me or one of my players, the other team gets to kick the ball in from the corner. Okay?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, so they had a corner, and they hit the ball in, and my star defender, who was also a really close friend of mine, his name was Manan, he sort of turns around to hit the ball with his back, but it bounces awkwardly off his back and straight into my goal. Okay? So now we're 1-0 down in the final. I've just conceded. Okay? And we have to win, right? So we're pushing. Half-time comes around, it's still 1-0. Second half, everyone's watching it because this is the final, right? So everyone in our year is watching. I'm pushing the boys forward. The ball is just, the entire half, it was basically on their side of the pitch, right? We're just, I'm at some point, like the coach is yelling, like, go up. So I was standing at like the half line of the pitch, right? And I was goalkeeper. And it starts raining. It's super dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting for this goal to happen. I'm pushing forward. The boys are pushing. I'll never forget this image, right? He was like a short dude. His name is Leighton, but Leighton DeCosta was his name. And he was just this like, he was super quick, super high energy. Like he used to get on people's nerves, I think. But he was just like, he was a baller. Okay, let's just say he was good at what he did.
Mm-hmm.
In like slow motion, okay? It's like the last minute of the game. I see this dude at the edge of the penalty area, and he was like on the left side, and I'm thinking, he's gonna cross it in, he's gonna pass, I would never fathom that he would shoot from there. But this Donny is just balling. He takes a shot, right? Top corner, right? Top bins. The crowd goes wild. I go wild. I'm on my knees. It's raining. It's fucking glorious moment, right? So 1-1, we're going to penalties, right? Madness, right? Now this is
you're goalie for penalties.
I'm goalie for penalties, right?
Oh.
I'm goalkeeping, right? And now I have to do something, right? Like now I have
first time in the whole tournament you had to do something.
I have to do. I mean, let's not count out the motivational speeches I gave the boys.
Absolutely not.
Between the games, right? But yeah, now I had to do something, right? So, I was a averagely sized kid with glasses. I was scared of the football, as most kids were. I wasn't, up there just jumping, but I had to do what I had to do for my team. Aman, their captain, Aman Thakkar, he has decided that their current goalkeeper is just not good enough for penalties. So this dude, after doing everything for them, is now also goalkeeping for them, okay?
Everybody knows an Aman Thakkar from school, dude.
This dude, he was genuinely one of my closest friends back then.
Oh my gosh.
Absolute sweetheart. So anyway, Aman he's wearing their goalkeeping jersey. I'm obviously in ours. And so we go back and forth, goal, miss, whatever. I've saved some, I've let a few in, same. But basically, it gets to sudden death, okay? Which means that if one team scores and one team misses, it's over, okay? So, at this point, that's the 6th penalty taker. So, all our best penalty takers had taken penalties. I had saved a few, whatever. At this point, everyone was crowded around that goal. And they were all chanting, Aman versus Aman, Aman versus Aman. Just good vibes all around, okay? It's crazy, right? It's still raining, right? Shit's wild, okay?
This is so cinematic.
Right? And for whatever, 9-year-old Aman, this was like it, right? This was the fucking World Cup final. Like, this was like, this is where I cement my legacy, right? And go down in the history books as like the greatest to ever do it, right? Like, this is it. This is my moment, right? Eminem sang about it. Here I was living it, right? Unbelievable. So we're sitting there, Aman versus Aman, right? My defender, the guy who had scored the own goal, takes a penalty. He skies it, right? He's missed. Shit. So I have to make a save, right? So I'm sitting there, and the guy steps up. My heart is like pounding. He shoots, and he goes wide, right? And I distinctly remember there was this one dude, I forget his name, who was in my grade, and he was poking his head next to the post to have a look, right, while everyone was chanting, and the ball smacks him in the face. Right? But so they've missed, right? Now, 6 of our players have taken penalties. No one wants to take the sudden death penalty. So obviously, I'm the captain. I say,
okay.
fuck it, I'll do it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm standing over the ball, you know. Again, this is my moment. Like, this is where I write the future. It's all running through my head. It's like, you know, again, my heart is racing, wild, right? He blows the whistle. The coach, who was also the referee, he blows the whistle. I run up. I stop. I said, I can't do it. I said, I can't take it. Let somebody else do it. Okay.
Oh, no.
He goes, no, I've blown the whistle. You have to take it. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Aman Thakkar staring me down, right? Over the ball. I shoot. There's like, it's muddy, right? Because it's raining. I think the ball's like stuck or whatever. Aman dives the right way, but somehow it slips under him, right? Unbelievable stuff. I've scored. Unreal. Now all I have to do is save the next penalty, right? So I'm standing there. That dude who got hit in the face, he's sticking his face in the same place again. He doesn't learn. I'm looking at it. Again, this is it. Like, now, all the other moments were like had to happen for this moment, right? This is the moment, right? The crowd is chanting. Our parents are watching. The rain is falling. Like, time has stopped. Like, this, the only thing in the world that, at the time, the only thing in the world that felt important was this penalty, right? The dude runs up. I'm ready. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna save this. He shoots. I dive. But he misses the goal again. Hits that dude in the face again. Right? The crowd goes wild. My team mobs me. We're all cheering. You know, what a fucking moment. Like I've done it, right? Football fiesta. You only, as a kid, you dream about winning that shit, right? And here I was, right? Age 9, right? And I've done it. Unbelievable. Gone down in history, you know. I thought they'd give us a trophy or something. They did. But it's gone down in history. The people who won my team still remember this moment. I meet people and we talk about it. Unbelievable stuff. What a story. And we'll never forget that Amar Nathani captained his side to the 2008-2009 football fiesta. And then I left the school the year after. So I did leave a good legacy. But yeah.
You left a fantastic legacy.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Oh
Cool
my gosh.
fucking guy.
But is it true? Is it fake?
Here's like, first off, love the story. I feel like though I've heard, like, you know how sometimes on Facebook or like there's like a subreddit for like, I think it's called r/ and then they applauded, where it's like people will tell a story and it's like it's so not true. It's such a lie. And then, but it's like the person who's telling it is always in the right. Or it's like, I ordered 5-piece chicken McNuggets and I only got 4. So I went back to the manager and I slapped him in the face. And then I walked out and everyone at the McDonald's applauded for me and cheered and said my name. It's like those kinds of stories. I don't know if I'm getting that kind of vibe from this though, because I feel like, you know, genuinely you're just like, I could see you as like a kid really into soccer, just like having this cinematic moment.
This is such a like life-defining moment, dude. Like, and like the ridiculousness of it, the drama of it, dude, is so crazy. Like, it's okay.
I mean, I will say.
I have an opinion about this, but
Okay.
I'll wait till you lock in your answer, I guess, because I don't want another repeat of 1994.
The dubious story.
Yeah, the dubious story.
The dubious conflict.
But so this guy got hit in the face twice. He didn't think to move the first time.
I mean, I guess he didn't think it'd happen again. You know, maybe this is me like embellishing it in my head, but I'm fairly like, I was the only one who saw this because I was standing right next to him. Like I turned to see the ball just smack this kid in the face. Right? It was unbelievable stuff. It's like almost as if it's fake, but it wasn't.
So I have two things. So one, you were wearing your glasses during this?
Yeah, I can't see without them, dude.
You were wearing glasses while playing soccer.
Yeah, maybe I took it off for the penalties. My number was lower then, but for most of the game I 100% had it on because I can't see. Like, my number was like, even back then, it was maybe like -2.
You have those things though, right? The glasses with the straps.
Like
strap.
the goggles?
Yeah, like you get like when you're playing sports as a kid because you can't wear
Yeah.
contacts. They give you like, you know, that strap.
Yeah, I've seen my friends in elementary school with
Yeah,
those.
so
You
I
didn't
was-
have that?
I probably did have that.
Okay.
I don't really remember. I probably did. I mean, I was I would not be able to see without my glasses.
Of course. But it's just like, yeah, you could like risk not seeing the ball coming at you, or you could
True.
just see the ball coming at you and then never see again because there's glass in your eyes.
Maybe. I mean, maybe I think I might have taken it off for the penalties because that's like fairly obvious where the ball is. But
Yeah.
for most of the game, I think I had to have. Maybe I took it. I'll be honest. This is like a fuzzy detail in my mind.
Sure, it's not that. I was just curious.
No, that's a good question. Though.
But so what happened? So Nathan, right?
Yeah.
That's the guy who was like you saw in slow motion,
Nathan.
or what was his name?
Aman.
Oh wait, that's okay. I mixed it up. So
Yeah.
that's the person you saw in slow motion. But there was someone you saw in slow motion who like kicked the ball into the goal, and you were like, yes.
Sorry.
DeCosta.
Leighton.
Sorry,
With that.
Leighton.
That's my bad. Yeah.
What? Where was he for this whole thing? For like this whole standoff and the penalties? Did
He took a
miss?
penalty. I'll be honest. I don't know who missed. He took one of the first 5 penalties definitely because he was one of the better players on the team.
That's what I thought. Like,
Yeah.
he would
Wait,
be
so you're
taking
saying?
all.
Wait, hold up. You said, so there are 5 penalties on each side.
Yeah.
Every single one of them missed, or
No.
was it tying?
It was like tying at the end.
Okay.
So few missed, few scored. So that's how it gets started. In that.
Did Aman, the other Aman, did he
Mr. Score?
shoot twice then?
No. He
So-
didn't shoot at the end.
Oh, he didn't shoot at the end.
He shot like in one of the first. I think he might have
Wait,
taken
what?
the
I
first
remember.
penalty.
No, I remember.
You did say, yeah.
Because what I remember. Wait, I don't know. I don't want to mess anything up, but I do remember it was you against him. It was the thing everyone was waiting for. That happened, and then there was another part, something else higher that happened.
So he was goalkeeping.
Oh,
He was
right.
goalkeeping, but then the one after that, the final thing where he missed and
No,
it hit
he
the guy
didn't-
in the face again.
He didn't take that.
You
penalty.
said he took. You said it.
I don't think.
I
You
don't
said
think-
it.
I'm
Did he
not-
not say it?
I don't think
they
he
were
did. It was
chanting
someone
Aman
else.
versus Aman because we were our captains of each team. So instead of identifying the team by yellow and green or whatever, they were calling both the teams. And it's like when you're a kid, dude. Trust me, having a common name in India, I know this. You know this too, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's so fucking funny when 2 people have the same name, so they'll just put you together or put you against each other. Like if you're playing a
Yeah.
game, they'll say, "Oh, your name is Aman. Your name is also Aman. Haha, you are captain." And everyone enjoys that shit, right?
It's funny.
Yeah, there's this kid in my class named Arjun too, and
Yeah.
there's this one teacher who would, for some reason, compare our marks. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this Arjun got more in geography. I was
And
like, what the hell does that have to do with anything, bro? Obviously, I'd be the one that got less.
But they love doing that shit. So to have 2 Amans as captains, Aman versus that just sounds good.
I don't know.
dude.
I could be,
It
maybe
is
I
fun.
heard it wrong, but I'm pretty sure the other Aman was the one who shot last.
I
And you said that, and now it's changed, but I don't know.
don't think. I think no. Because I remember it was like
Was it? No.
It was Aman versus Aman. That was the big thing, and then there was an extra act that it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we thought that was the 3rd act. No. We're going into the 4th act where it's now Aman against the other players.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
So, who took the last shot?
I don't know the dude's name. It was a kid from batch below me, the grade below me.
All right,
Oh,
sure.
I just have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So you went to what was it called, the school?
St. Mary's.
And then where did you transfer to the year after?
I moved to a school called. So this was an Indian system. Genuinely, till this day, the best school I went to, in my opinion. In the sense that like, it was education-wise maybe not the best, but just the experience I had there was very formative for me.
Mhm.
And then I moved to an international co-ed school called Aditya Birla World Academy for 3 years, and then I moved again to just like what was arguably a better international school in the same city. So I moved schools thrice.
And what was that? What was that other school called?
The last one,
The one that you transferred to the year after.
it was called Aditya Birla World Academy, but like people used to call it ABWA, ABWA.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know why I asked that question. I can't confirm or deny it. I was just seeing if. Okay. Okay. Cool.
That's it about. We got to ask some questions that maybe may or not, maybe or may
Yeah, maybe.
pertain to the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might trip me out.
That's what I was hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you did, even if that was all fake, you did a good job of like covering it all up and giving your own opinion. Is it time to lock in answers?
If you want to, you can ask more questions.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
I'm all out of questions. I know everything I need to know. No, not really. I'm kind of confused, but okay. Do you have any questions? You want to lock in?
Nah,
What are
I'm
you
gonna
thinking? What
lock
are you
in.
thinking? Let's
Here's
talk
the thing.
about it.
I can't really. Everything sounds fine and true. Everything that happened, like everything being super cinematic, everything being super like, and then the rain came down. It was Aman versus Aman.
Yeah.
That all kind of just it adds up for me.
Hmm.
And feel like there's someone who's gonna be listening that's like, it's clearly fake. Like, come on, man. That's what I've been doing in my car. Where I'm just like, oh, that was totally fake, and I get it wrong, and I'm like, doesn't matter. Oh God. All right.
Mistakes are
Are you locking it in then? True.
I'm gonna lock it in. True.
True. What do you think?
I personally also think it's true because the level of drama and like, you know, I just like it has, because this guy is so into sports and he gets like emotional about it. I think it's so stupid.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, but he is.
And I fight about this, but yeah, I do get emotional. I'm
Because
like,
I like playing sports, but I just don't get the watching part. But like this is something where he clearly like he's, you know, watched the same thing over and over in his head, and like it's, I think he's come up with this, you know, very polished, you know, beautiful memory of his sports days, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think like it all sounds true, like in a small, like in like a community with like a big sporting event like that is all true. Maybe some things were embellished, but the core thing of it, this core story, is true that this did happen.
Yeah.
you both think true?
On the other hand, though, I do think there's like a sense of embellishment that is gone. Like the core part of it also feels like embellishment, you know, with the guy's face getting hit twice, missing the goal, Aman being the savior of the day. I don't know.
It sounds like it's out of my daydreams, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like something I dreamed of.
I'm still locking in true.
Yeah, I think I'll switch to false. Yeah.
False. I mean, you've locked it. I will say this, okay? A few things. I love sports films, so the cinema, like, it was like me living my own sports film. Also, halfway through the story, I sort of gave up on trying to make y'all think it was true or false, because it is true. And I just love telling that story. Yeah, I got a point.
Nice.
And I'm not even mad, because I just love telling that story. That was like my fucking greatest moment. It happened. I mean, yeah, maybe it's sort of like played up in my head, but at the time it genuinely felt like that. Dude, I was like beaming the whole weekend after. My friend, so I have a friend who went to the same school as me, and he stayed with us for a while, Dhruv. He will also tell you the story the same way, dude. Because for us, this was like huge, you know?
This is like a legend, yeah.
Yeah, especially as like someone who just wasn't that good at sports, to have this like, you know, defining moment where I led the team to victory was just like iconic, right? Something like everyone else has probably forgotten, but to us and to me specifically. So great guess, dude. Yeah, that was true.
Thanks. And your arc also felt like he's the kid who doesn't know how to play sports, and then in the end it's like, you know, and then he becomes the champion of Soccer Fiesta, rated PG. It's like Soccer Fiesta, rated PG-13, started on that time.
Yeah, I can see the trailer for this movie, dude.
In my
It's
head,
hilarious.
like they carried me off on their shoulders. That didn't happen, right? But you know,
It's like just I guess I switched to false because, like, I mean, the ridiculousness of it, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
it's
it's
so
just like
ridiculous.
hits twice in the face. I cannot buy that, dude.
maybe I'm.
Because
I'm
I
like,
bet
buy
that's
that.
an embellishment that
Maybe.
you've dreamt up. Because this whole thing feels like an 8-year-old's like fantasy that he's like, you know, the one day I'll do this, I'll save the team, lead them to victory.
I was hoping that's what it would come off as, but genuinely halfway through, I could see like Julian just looked like he was into the story. Then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tell it the way it was. Like, fuck, I need it.
It was a good story.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I love that story.
I second guessed myself when I was like, oh really? And then the rain came down. And it was just it was Amon versus Amon. It's like, oh really? Let me guess. Lightning striked in the back as you two were having your standoff.
Everything's in slow motion from then on.
No, it definitely did rain. I definitely took the second last penalty. Like all of that was that. Like I'll never forget. That should definitely happen.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's cool, man.
Crazy, dude. And the whole moment I was like, oh, I can't take it. That happened too.
I believe that because, you know, it's like all this pressure. You know, it's like, I can't take it. The drama, you know, I can't take it. And the coach runs out. It's like, oh man, listen, remember the speech. You see your mom in the stands, and she's just like this. You run and take it. You know.
It's like you get like the nod of approval from like the parents, just like, you got this.
Yeah.
And it's like the coach is like, listen, I didn't believe you before, but god damn it, you made me see different. It's like a tear rolls down his eye.
The violin music plays. That's awesome,
What is
dude.
that? Maybe I should have read a movie about this.
Also, it's a great beat where it's like the main character's just like, I can't do it. I need to back out. And it's like, nope, you're locked in.
Yeah.
Flashback moment also, you know, something.
It's like my brother who couldn't make it to the first half because he broke his leg or something, and he just thought, I see him. He's like, no, you got this.
And then you see him in the stands.
Yeah.
He made it. Somehow he made it.
He's like, he saw, like, the brother just, like, sees it on the TV and is like, that's my little brother.
Yeah.
I'm cured. He gets out. He runs to the field. It's like, you got it. It's like his hospital gown. Yo, I believe in you.
He
And
takes the penalty for you.
The broken foot, right?
This is getting ridiculous.
It just falls off.
Oh, man.
Oh god. No, but yeah, that's the football fiesta story. That's iconic.
That's a great story.
I'm glad I got to tell it, dude. So now
Yeah.
people know I was a badass at some point.
You were such a badass at 9
Thank
years
you.
old.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you. But to recap the points, I think this might be the first round I lose, but I'm okay with that, honestly. Just because I love that.
Yeah, it looks like I'm winning right now, right? So I'm
You
Yeah.
have
2.
two. I have
You're
1.
And I
One.
have one.
1.
Yeah.
Well, so. But
No,
didn't you
no,
technically
no,
get
no, no.
into
You have
two?
0, dude.
No, I guess this guy.
No,
Yeah.
I guessed his
So
correct.
did
No,
I.
he.
Oh, we both
It was
guessed
2
it
trues.
correct.
That's why
Okay,
I have
okay.
0. Doesn't it mean
Yeah,
he gets
that's right.
1 point though because you said false? Or no? That's
He
not.
went out compete. Because
Gotcha.
I've told you the story before.
Oh, really? No way.
One of the early days of the story game, I told you the story.
Oh,
100%.
okay.
I have been trying so much. To anyone, so everyone, I just want to let you know, I have been trying to look at these guys' faces and see if there's any hint that if they've either heard the story before or not. I can't see anything. When Aman was when we were listening to Arjun's story, he was just putting his thumb and index finger on his nose and rubbing. I'm like, that has to mean it's false because he's like cracking up of like how ridiculous this is. And that was another tell that I didn't say before.
This is, yeah, you can't signal him. How dare you?
I
No,
mean,
I'm just kidding.
I sent him the wrong way.
Yeah,
It seems.
maybe.
Yeah, I can't rely on that anymore.
Okay.
What a round. That was a good first round.
That was really fun, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
all
fun.
true stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some great stories.
All
Okay.
true stories.
Sick. Round 2.
Round 2.
Round 2.
All right, my turn. So yeah, this is a little bit of a shorter story, but it's a bit silly and I'm a bit embarrassed of it. But it's a fun little thing that happened to me in freshman year.
College or high school?
College. We don't really think about in
Oh.
India. But anyway, college, right? My freshman year, total like days I was getting high all the time. I was doing a ton of acid. I was still getting good grades. I was doing my work, but I was just like really on a weird plane of existence, and I was just trying to like explore spirituality and like just weird parts of ideas, and it was a great time, and I really like formative part of my life. But anyway, I was kind of like I would spend a lot of time smoking weed around campus with the boys, and I'd also like just go around alone also smoking weed and just like observing things and taking pictures. It was a crazy time. And also like even though you're not high on acid for the next week or so, you're kind of like in a daze. You've taken acid?
I have not taken acid, but I nodded because my friends have said the same thing.
Yeah, it's like reality doesn't feel real. Things just feel like like what is this? Anyway, I was walking around campus one day, skating around, and I got stopped by this dude, right? And he's like, "Yo, hey man," and he starts making some small talk with me, and makes some small talk, and then he's like, are you interested in, Christianity and Catholicism at all? Are you interested in, like, the Bible? And I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm actually really interested because I am interested. And, he's like, oh, awesome, really? Well, you know what, if you have the time, we can go sit down somewhere and I can tell you a little bit about our group and, like, the thing. And I was like, yeah, tell me about this, Christianity philosophy and stuff. And so I was getting really excited, and I was genuinely interested because I was high, and I was also in one of my daze moments. We go sit down on a table somewhere. He pulls out a notebook and he draws this like diagram, right, of like this diagram of like I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just ridiculous. Like even I could tell at the moment of being high, like this doesn't make like it was just like, this is you, this is God, and this is love. And then like he connects it like God to me and love to me, and it's like that could be you if you accept God or some shit, dude. I don't even remember what it was. And I was just like, this guy is full of shit, dude. Like this is like not like, and look, all respect to all religions and like, you know, Christianity. I think like the Bible actually has a lot of really interesting themes and like philosophies and stuff, stories, great stories. But this guy just like, I don't know what the fuck he was on, dude. He was just not like, the thing that he was telling me was just like ridiculous, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I didn't say that, but I was like, I need a way out of this. Like, I need to leave this situation, and I didn't know how to do that politely, considering also that I was high. I don't know why being high is such a theme in my stories today, but I was kind of like, how do I do this politely, you know? And I started kind of trying to weasel my way out, like, oh, that's interesting, but you know, I'm a Hindu, so don't know if I. And he's like, oh, that's okay. We accept all kinds of religions and people. You know, we're just trying to form a community of like-minded people looking for acceptance in Jesus and whatever the fuck he was saying, right? And I was like, okay. And then he's like, so we're actually gonna have a prayer meeting somewhere on campus. I can't remember exactly where he said. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, why don't you come along? Why don't you tag along if you're not doing anything? And I was like, I actually have to go, you know. And then, but then I don't know what came over me or whatever, but I was like I couldn't come up with an excuse fast enough. And he's like, it'll only take like 15 minutes. You can just stop by. And so I started walking to the prayer meeting with him. And it was like, and I was like, you know, I was trying to tell him like I got class in whatever minutes. Like, I think it was like I pretended to have class in like 30 minutes, but he was like, the prayer meeting will start in like 10 minutes and you can be out of there in, you know, in 10 minutes. So whatever, I was following him, we're walking together, and I was just like, I need to fucking get out of this shit, I need to leave. And this is a bit embarrassing on my part, this has been weird, so don't judge me, but I was like, I had my skateboard, and he turned the corner, and I literally just turned around and I ran and I got on my skateboard and just sped away, dude. It was so silly. But yeah, and I never saw him again, thankfully. And I left and I don't know what happened to him. I never went to the prayer meeting. But yeah, that's my story.
That is, I feel like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I wasn't going to.
Because I was going to say, like, I've seen those guys before. Usually it's like, they're Mormons, right, who walk around campus.
Is it Mormons? This guy was Christian, bro. Like, he was, or maybe, I don't have a great understanding of that whole thing.
Neither do I.
He was for sure telling me about, like, me and God and love or something like that. And he drew a diagram and he was like, you can be infinite love or something like that if you do this or whatever.
Here's the thing for me, like, not like I'm questioning your story, I'm just like saying, like, if there's ever, I feel like when there's ever a group that's telling you, hey, look at this diagram to see how we think, that's a red flag. That's cult shit. And there's like, this is the diagram where you can achieve total enlightenment. Just follow these 16 steps and pay us $100,000 and then you can achieve total enlightenment. It's like, no. Yeah. That's...
Fair enough. I was going to show you a diagram about my religion later on.
Oh, you were?
Today, if that's okay. Now it's...
Oh, yeah. No, totally.
But the thing is, like, it was a legitimate... It wasn't, like, a cult. It was, like, a legitimate religion, the Christian like group or whatever. Oh. And they have those. I mean, I'm sure USC, like, ties up with them, and that's why they're allowed to be on campus.
They tie up, I think they just walk on, right? Like, have you ever been approached?
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah, right? Usually I just say sorry, and I just walk. Once I got strong enough into giving them my email.
Stronger? What? They just wouldn't leave you alone?
And she was just like, give me your email. I was like, no, I know. She's like, no, give it to me. And I was like, no, please. And she was like, no, give it. I was like, okay, fine.
But also, like, there are groups on campus consisting of students. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy was a student, dude. Oh, and like, sure. Like, because I remember this happened kind of another time earlier. With me and Christianity, right?
Yeah.
But this kind of happened to me, not the same thing, but like there was a group of students that I had random. It was one of those, not those career fairs. What is it? The
where you see the clubs and shit, right?
Yeah.
Activities fair.
Yeah. And I just randomly went up to a random counter, and it was like a group of students trying to convince me to join like their Christian prayer group or whatever.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty sure this guy was one of those, and he was trying to take me to like a meeting of theirs. But anyway.
What could you? I don't mean to take over. I'm just wondering, what did the diagram look like? What were the shapes that he showed to identify you, God, and love?
Before you answer that, Julian, please take over. That is the point of it.
Oh, sure.
We want you to be lead detective, interrogate the man.
Sure.
Yeah. So the diagram was like, it was like a piece of paper. It already had some printing on it, and he was drawing like arrows. To be honest, I don't remember completely what I was and what God was. Maybe it was just me and God, and then he drew like an arrow to me and God, and he was like, this is if you pray, and this is if you believe or something, and then in the center it was love or something, and that you become that. It was total nonsense, if I'm being honest. Or I don't want to be mean. Maybe some people believe that, and that's cool if you believe that. So
we can say we respect all religions.
Absolutely.
I respect all religions, but this guy was not.
This dude was just
having it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's also just like it's unattractive when someone tries to sell you an idea.
But he wasn't selling me anything. You know how it goes, right? Like these guys do it because they're like they think that it brings them salvation or whatever, right? That they'll get into heaven.
One of the greatest things is that like if you can convert someone else, you go to heaven.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's us.
I respect it. All good. I'm just never going to ever.
I respect it, but fuck those motherfucking pieces of shit.
That was a joke.
To clarify,
No, it wasn't.
Arjun, jeez. Man, okay. Do you have any questions, Aman?
I don't, dude. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything that could push it either way, because I think that is unfair.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any questions. It just is funny because I've always been interested in what happens when you actually just say, okay, yeah, I'll talk to you, right? Because usually I just say no thanks and I just walk on. You know what I mean? So it's like a cool what if?
I was thinking that too, because if you didn't want to embellish the story, it could have gone in a completely different direction, where he just kind of does something completely else that you wouldn't say. The diagram makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give you my judgment yet because I don't want to influence you.
Oh, sure, of course.
Yeah.
It's also weird because I don't know why I feel like I look like a godless man, and I've been approached hundreds of times, dude. And after this one, I was just like, listen, bro, no, I'm busy, whatever.
Huh. You're busy. Okay. Well, I have to lock in an answer, right? That's what this whole game's about.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. I'm looking into this man's eyes. He just widened them up. He's looking scared. Here's the other problem I'm facing right now. The way you tell stories, whether they are true or not, they almost sound unconvincing by the way you tell them because of certain little details. But, oh man.
What little details? What are you talking about?
Well, it's certain things are just I don't fully remember the diagram, which is, here's the thing, details that aren't necessary but could make it even more believable. You leave, I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to critique your way of storytelling.
No, totally.
I'm just telling you confuse me.
Yeah, no, I get why that'd be confusing in terms of, because to be honest, I just don't remember it. It's not in my my memory.
Yeah. All right, I have to lock in an answer.
Yeah.
To this story about Arjun and the Christian.
Yeah.
What's a better title for this? I feel like that's a little.
Arjun and the Christian. Arjun's escape from Christianity.
So Arjun and the Christian is that's the greatest title, dude. That's I'd watch that movie.
Arjun and the Christian 2, The Daring Escape. Arjun and the Christian 3.
Arjun in the Big City.
Have you done acid before? Yes.
Have I what?
Done acid.
Oh,
before.
yeah. Many.
I'm gonna lock it in true.
True.
I'm gonna lock it in true.
I don't.
You're locking in? Okay, what do you think, bro?
I think you were definitely approached. I think the diagram thing has happened because that sounds believable. I don't know about you running away. I think that part might be false. Arjun has done acid before, right? I can say that now. You've locked in your own. So I know that.
I've already locked.
I also, that's when Arjun and I became friends, and the person he was describing is the person that was the Arjun I first met. This Donnie was just a lot of the times he would just talk about, he would tell me about his experience with acid and religion. That was like the two facets of origin back then.
That was your favorite part of our.
That was my favorite part of
our.
Origin.
Now that he's sober, it's like, ugh.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck. That.
Yeah. We were so, it's so funny because back then we were so like opposite, but we still became friends because of Armando's dude.
Yeah. Dude, they're gone, right?
No, they're back open.
Oh, they're
I just
back?
had them yesterday.
Thank God,
no
dude.
way. Okay, we should go. We should go, dude. Do you want to go today, dude? Fuck it.
I'm down, yeah.
Cool.
I'm down. Fuck it.
So, sorry, we should.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So Anyway, I think it's. Fuck it. I'll say true, but like I think the second half is a bit dubious. Yeah.
Okay, audience, lock in your answer.
Lock in
Bro,
those
we gotta get an
answers.
app, dude, where they can lock in their answers
Oh, that'd
live.
be cool.
That'd be
That'd
so
be
cool.
tight, dude. Yeah. Or if we do the podcast live, dude, have fun with that.
That would be
a
really
That'd
live
be really
stream.
fun, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's totally false. Everything is
Oh.
completely
No.
false.
Yeah, bro. Okay, well played, dude.
I
Wow.
would never run away from a Christian like that.
Well, I thought like in a state of being high. That's the thing
No,
that got
yeah.
me. It's that you were.
It's everything. I mean, I totally made up the diagram bit. I did talk to like one of these dudes one time, but like it was more just like I started talking and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just head out. And it was like a 2-minute interaction. So
That was good, dude. That was well done.
Yeah, that was well
Yeah,
done.
And I think that's your highest point total.
Oh my
yeah.
god, that's 4?
4? No,
Three.
3.
Oh, 3.
Hopefully I'll beat Aman this round.
Yeah,
finally.
I think you will, dude.
You just might.
You still can win though, right? You have 2 more points you could get, and
Yeah,
you're at 1
But
point
you
right
also
now.
have. You
Yeah,
also have.
At 1 point I could get.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
boy.
leads us to you now.
It's me?
Let's have your second story.
It's my turn for the second story. Oh boy. I'm sorry. And before we continue, I just want to know: is there a third round after? There's a third round?
No.
No. Okay.
Do 2
Sorry.
rounds.
Just making sure. I just have something at 2 p.m. that I could push back if
Oh
necessary.
no, that's fine.
But-
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. Okay.
No, not at all, dude.
I think we got time. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Anyway, for my second story, oh boy. Okay, second story is when I was 10 years old, I went to this camp called Gold Arrow Camp. It's a camp that is just a bit north of Mammoth. It takes not like a full day, but it takes like hours to get there on bus. And I was there with my friends that I went to school with in elementary school named Liam and Nelson. And this was our first time at the camp, and I didn't really know if I was going to love it, but we were only there for a week, so like you kind of had to make every single day count. And there were a bunch of activities that we had. They had like bracelet, like knitting a bracelet for your friend. They had like water skiing, knee boarding. They had like arrows that you could do.
These activities are so like there's knitting a bracelet and then there's water skiing and arrow shooting.
Oh yeah, because it's like knitting a bracelet is like it's like weaving. Like those friendship bracelets that you make.
Yeah, sure.
It's that sort of thing.
Like is it the bands or was it actually like knitting?
Oh no, it was bands.
Okay.
It was like it was like an arts and crafts
Yeah,
thing.
what
It was
those
like a
things called,
string.
dude? I know what you're talking about, right? It was like people in my I could never do it, but people in my grade could do it. Where you take these like small like rubber bands and you would like dye them a certain way and make like a cool design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure, okay.
it was something like some kids were really good at it,
Uh-huh.
which was annoying because I wasn't good at it. I didn't like that activity.
Okay.
And you could earn badges for all these activities. But there was one activity that we liked to do most of all, and that was rifle practice. See, at the camp, they had this activity where you could take a hunting rifle, sit on a mat, and fire a gun at just targets. Now,
How old were you again? Sorry.
we were just like 10. It's a real thing.
It's safe?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
So, to continue, Liam Nelson's and I's our favorite activity was rifle practice, which was it's safe. I mean, obviously, they're real guns. They're just basically like these hunting rifles that you use, and it's something that a 10-year-old can operate. Obviously, a camp counselor was always there with us, but so it was there. Liam and Nelson loved this activity. I didn't love it so much, and for some backstory, at my school, the biggest thing all the kids did was play Call of Duty. We'd get home, we'd play Modern Warfare 2, and we'd just have a blast. I was not good at Call of Duty, but I was having fun with my friends playing the video game, so I enjoyed it. But
Call of Duty on what platform?
PS3.
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 Okay.
I was 10 years old. I didn't know what a PC was.
PS3 at age 10.
PS3. Oh yeah, that could be a.
PS3 came out when we were like way younger.
I had a PlayStation 2.
Wasn't it 2010 or something when it came out? 2011.
I had a PS3 when I was in 3rd grade. I was like 9.
Maybe. Yeah.
It was also the same year the Wii came out.
08, yeah.
Okay, fair
The
enough.
Wii came out in 2008. I remember that very clearly. I think the
Yeah.
PlayStation was a few years after that.
Yeah.
Sus, but we'll let you have it for now.
Okay.
We'll look into that little detail. But yeah, go on.
Sure. So, so that was just like the big thing we do. We'd go to a friend's house, we'd play Call of Duty. I was the worst at it. I just had the worst aim in the world. And apparently that carried over into the rifle practice. I missed my shot, even though it's like, so the whole thing is that you're laying on this mattress or on the floor with headphones, goggles, and you're just firing this rifle at a target that's like maybe 10 yards away or something. And I would miss my shot a lot. And Liam was really fucking good at shooting, and he made sure everyone knew. He would say, "I have the best shot in the world. I'm the best." And he'd pick on me specifically. Like, we were best friends, but he'd also pick on me to just call me out. It's like, Julian has the worst shot. I'd say your shot's cancer, but it actually kills people. And it's like, okay, how about you cool off, Liam? So,
Damn it, Liam.
Yeah, classic Liam, dude.
dude, I hate Liam. Like, we're good now, but like, I mean, so here's the thing. So we're at rifle practice again. It's the 3rd day. And Liam, he's talking shit. He's saying, I have the best aim in the world, yada, yada, yada. I ask him, you think you're so good, then hit that. And I point to this rusted nail that is by the targets. And I say, hit that. Prove that you're that good. So we set up. We're setting up our rifles. I look to Liam. He just looks to me and says, watch this. He fires his rifle. And as kids, we didn't really know that bullets truly ricochet and what that does. So the bullet hit the nail and just ricocheted back. Like, first off, he did it. He proved me wrong. He hit the shot. But the bullet also just, like, it bounced to the side and hit a tree. Now, no one was hurt, everything was fine, but the camp counselor noticed that, and he's like, why did you shoot at the nail? And he's like, well, Julian dared me to. And it's like, first off, I didn't dare shit. I said, I bet you can't make that shot if you're so good.
That is daring, though.
But it's not like I said, like, I dare him.
Yeah.
It's like, you think you're so good.
You challenged him to shoot the...
I didn't, like, challenge him.
He didn't say, like, I want you to do it. Yeah, I got that.
I was just like, you think you... Like, he
Okay.
would not shut up about it. He was just constantly telling me that my aim was bad. It's like, I started hating doing the activity. But, so he hit the shot, the bullet ricocheted, the camp counselor was like, you can't do that, you have to aim directly at the target. That's breaking one of the rules, is that you always have to aim down target. So we got, both of us were taken out, we had to talk to the counselor, the camp counselor, the head camp counselor, and they said, look, if whatever's going on here, we're gonna have to call your parents. And unless one of us like fessed up and like told like the actual truth, and the truth of the matter was I did say, I did say you should hit the target. It wasn't a dare. That was just something he kept saying to make sure like all the pressure wasn't on him because he actually hit the shot.
Uh-huh.
But inevitably, the camp counselors were like, okay, look, we won't call your parents. No one's in trouble, but you cannot go on the rifle range anymore because they don't want to ruin their reputation. It's like a dangerous place.
Yeah, I feel like it's on the camp, if anything, to,
Yeah.
because they didn't make it completely foolproof.
Yeah. Well, no, it was the place is safe.
Yeah.
It was just that one thing. It's like, it was so out of there, and it's like, you really did have to aim the gun.
How big was
away
it?
from the camp?
No, the nail.
Oh, the nail was just like, it was like jutting out. It's like, you could probably like, it seemed like if you just shot at it, it would bounce off, but it was like, I guess it was still in there just enough where it didn't go, which was unfortunate. But in any case, that is the camp rifle story.
Mm-hmm. I'm inclined to say it's false because of I don't believe the nail part.
And I'm
that
inclined to
much.
say it's true.
You think it's true?
See, here's the thing. Whatever you say, Arjun, if I want to compete, I have to say the other thing,
Oh, true.
right? But that being said, I think it's false because I think I saw your feet shuffling and shit.
My feet?
Yeah,
If there's anything we've learned from previous episodes, is that we cannot look at faces and bodies to
Yeah, true.
understand the truth and false of this.
True. I think it's false, but I'm gonna say true just to keep the game exciting.
You think it's false too, right?
I can buy that it's true. There's definitely a Liam dude. Despite in
There's
which you said,
definitely a Liam
the way
dude.
you said, I hate that guy. I was just,
I don't know. I think that was acting though. I know
Maybe.
that I'm pretty sure he would have said something along the lines of what was the joke he said? Cancer,
Cancer.
but cancer kills people.
Like I'd say your shot. I'd say your shot is cancer, but that actually kills people.
that's a classic. I've heard that before.
Yeah, like that. I think that would be something he would say to Julian during Call of Duty, though. I don't know if it would be like a,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah, maybe you were
Real
just really
life.
bad at Call of Duty. I can
because
buy
he
that.
did say that, right? Now,
Yeah.
I believe that. the way
Also,
he said
how
that.
did the counselor miss this 10-year-old boy lifting this giant rifle and turning it?
Well, he didn't lift it. He just he aimed away from the
But
target.
he still had to move it, right?
Well, yeah, but it's just a little bit enough. It's not like he picked it up and pointed it in another completely direction. It was
He just turned it.
he turned it, but it was a noticeable turn.
Okay.
It was a big turn. It was straight to then 15, 20 degrees left.
Okay.
I think it's false, dude. I don't know. Just the way you're kind of telling us this stuff right now.
Are you locking in false?
I'm locking in false.
Okay, then I think I have to lock in true. Just
We
to
don't
keep,
have to.
Well,
don't-
just to keep the
Well,
game
no,
exciting, and
You
I
don't
can
have to.
I can buy it true.
But also, think about this, right? Julian has, 1 point right now?
Yeah,
So if he...
we're doing doubles.
Are we doing doubles this round? So he didn't get the double for me, so it would be
Right.
double. So yeah, we could do double for
Doubles,
this.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm gonna say true.
Okay, I'm
Are
saying
you
false.
Are you guys sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, audience, lock in your answers.
Lock those in. Do you want to do the drum roll?
Yeah. So that means he's definitely gonna get at least 2 points because we're doing doubles, right?
Oh, fair enough.
Game on, dude. Let's go. Okay.
If you want to even risk it higher, you could just we could change answers so that way it's either double or nothing.
Yeah, should we do that? Okay, let me try and convince you that it's false. I think
Just
it's
make it more
false
exciting.
because the ricochet off the nail, just that's such a impossibility, you know? And secondly, the nail is how big would this nail have to be that this kid can shoot it? Can literally shoot a nail?
I buy
he'd have
what
to
you're
have
saying.
Not only perfect aim, but he would have to it would have to be lucky for him to be able to ricochet off the nail as well.
I buy what you're saying.
He's smiling super smiley right now.
I agree
Which means
with you.
I think I've got him, or
But he wanted us to change the double or nothing, and obviously you weren't gonna change. It was gonna be me who changed, right? So
I think
that's
that that's a double bluff. Though.
maybe. I'm just gonna stick with two. I just think it keeps the game exciting, dude. Because that either means
But
he.
that's not okay. You can't choose your answers based
No,
on.
I also
think
think
you
it's-
should make a case.
I
as to
also-
why you think it's false.
I also think it's true. I could buy it being true, because there was enough details there. It's a cool story. It's something that's so unbelievable, but still believable enough. Obviously, Liam got a lucky shot. I can buy it being true, but I'm not 100% convinced it's true. But I think it makes the game more exciting, so I'm happy to do it. Which it does, because if whatever happens, he gets 2 points and then he's tied up with you, so it goes to the last round.
Alright, yeah,
That's
fair
exciting,
enough.
right?
Oh,
Sure.
I didn't think about that. Okay.
And also, it's exciting for us.
Alright, I'm for sure false. This has to be false.
And I'm gonna say true.
Okay, what is it?
Drum roll.
Yeah.
It's completely false.
I knew it. Well
I-
played.
I didn't think about the nail. The nail. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
I-
I'm good with that. That means you get your first
Yeah.
victory.
Yeah. The core story itself is all false. There was a camp. There was rifle practice. None of that happened. So.
Liam, did he say that make that cancer joke for Call of Duty, or was it?
Nah.
Oh, was it?
It was another person.
Oh, okay.
Is Liam a real person?
Liam is a real person, but I changed the name.
Okay.
Liam and Nelson are two real people, but their names were changed for this.
Yeah, we should have known. Who names like the 10-year-old kid Nelson, right? That's just the...
I've met Liam. I've also... What? You're going to really... Okay, first off, this podcast is shitting on religion. Now we're shitting on all Nelsons all around.
No, but like Nelson is like
Nelson Mandela.
It's like
Come on, I wanna
it's like
have
a
some
middle-aged
respect.
guy name, right? It's like naming your kid Hubert.
Who the fuck names their kid Hubert?
Yeah, but you realize these
Funny you
kids,
said that. I met someone named Hubert once.
these guys who are middle-aged, Nelsons who are middle-aged, they
Yeah,
were
but it
once
was like,
kids, bro.
but it was popular back then, right? That's what I think. That it was a popular name back then. But it's like an old dude's name, right? You would name your at some point in time the name Ebenezer or whatever was a like popular name for a kid, but it isn't anymore, right? That's why we have old dudes named. It's just how. Anyway, I love the name Nelson. Maybe I'll name my kid Nelson.
Yeah, you really had to you really leaned in for the microphone for that one.
Yeah.
To bring
Clarify.
make sure everybody knows. I don't think he likes people named Nelson. But anyway,
What? Let's not make
good
this.
story. Good story.
Thank you.
The nail part, yeah, that got it. I think it's
That
just
was
too
good.
unbelievable. I think it was, maybe if it was a pot or something, I'd have believed it.
Where would a pot be on a target range?
I believe
Like
a
a
pot
bucket
being
or
a
something,
target
right?
A
range.
bucket would have been
Like
better.
a steel bucket. I
Yeah,
don't know. But
like
a
a
nail,
metal
dude,
bucket.
this guy would have to be like some fucking James Bond
Yeah.
guy, man, shooting a nail.
That's true. Now that you're like, yeah,
Right?
that's fun, but it's exciting because you're now on 3 points and you're on 4 points,
Oh yeah.
and you have double or nothing. So,
Okay. Oh, so does this mean we can't have the same answer?
well, Arjun doesn't have to have an answer.
I
It's just
like
you.
so I don't get points at all. He doesn't get points.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So if you get this correct,
Okay.
you beat Arjun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
if
I've
you,
already won against someone. So this is my
yeah.
first. This is my thank you. Thanks everybody. I'd like to thank Aman and Julian.
okay, I'm gonna tell you the story of how I met my girlfriend. So previous listeners know I'm dating a girl who currently lives in Boston, and we started dating in January, so it's coming up to it's been 9 months. Jan 12th to be exact was the day we started dating. I got out of a 3-year relationship at the start of 2020, January 1st, 2020, the day of I got out of a 3-year relationship, which was also long distance. So, I was getting over it, whatever, cool. And then the world goes into lockdown, right? So you can't really meet people in lockdown.
Mhm.
Or so I thought, right? So here's what happened. I don't know if you remember, there was a thing, USC did this, some people at USC did this dating game thing where you filled up a form and they would match you, and then whoever you were most compatible with, they would put you guys together. They'd give you the name and then you could reach out or whatever,
I
right?
remember that. Yeah.
So it was
I don't remember that.
it was a fun thing. So this was a USC thing. I filled up I had nothing to do in lockdown, so I filled out the form for USC. But another friend of mine who actually studies in Canada, he decided to do the same thing, okay? But his premise, because he was just bored, and he was a data guy, and he's like, okay, cool, it'll be fun, right? Nothing's really going to happen. It's a fun activity. And his whole thing was, I'm going to send it around my friend group. And because he wanted to make it an Indian college student thing. So just send it to your friends who go to college, who live in India, right? And that was the fun of it. And
Go to college in America.
go to college in abroad, but live in India, right? And it's cool because, sorry, the nasal polyps, but yeah, it's cool because what ends up happening is when you go to college, so we all went you go to in each major city, there are a few big international schools, and most kids have gone to one of those international schools. And then when you go to college, different kids from different schools interact in different places. So one of my best friends went to a school, and then on the other side of the coast, one of her best friends goes to school with one of my best friends, right? So you all sort of mix and mingle, right? So it's a cool thing. So he was okay, cool, I'm gonna do this, right? And you just send it around to people. So the big cities, Bombay, where I live, Delhi, some kids from Pune, whatever. And I don't think he got that many. And it was him and a friend of his was doing this, okay? A friend of his from high school, okay? Who, so the two of them decided to do this, right? So this girl and my friend. And I didn't really know the girl he was doing it with, but whatever, right? So anyway, push comes to shove, I fill up the form because he wants me to do it. And I supposedly get a 90 plus match with this girl, okay? And so then they say, okay, this is cool. Let's interview the two of them separately, and then we'll have them do a Zoom date or something and see how it goes. Okay. So they're interviewing me, and so my friend is interviewing the girl, and the girl he made the whole thing is interviewing me. Okay. And we start talking whatever, and we just kind of hit it off. And so here's the big twist in the story, right? My girlfriend is not the girl I was matched with. My girlfriend is the girl who he made the whole data thing with. And we just kind of hit it off. And at the end of it, she like...
Wait, so you started talking to the girl, like your girlfriend who was making the app?
Yeah.
Like you... Okay.
Yeah. And so she was talking to me to interview me, but we just really hit it off. And we just didn't stop talking. It's a short story, but it was just like, straight out of a rom-com.
What happened to the other girl you matched with?
Nothing. We just... eventually we were just like, oh, sorry, he might... Because she wasn't actually really invested. Like, you can't really get invested in it. We just never did my Zoom date because they asked us like, at the end of it, she was like, okay, so are you excited? And I was like, you know what? No, because I've actually fallen for you. And she was like, oh, me too. And then, yeah, that's how it ended, dude. And now we've been dating for 9 months.
Stories are so dramatic and romantic.
So the person that was interviewing you, just to clarify, the person that was interviewing you is now your girlfriend.
Is now my girlfriend, yeah.
That's so lovely.
Yeah,
That's
her name is
cool.
Inaya. And yeah, she was like handling the marketing side because she's a marketing major. And my friend was doing the data side.
Gotcha.
And so for her, she thought it'd be cool, like, oh, we did this, and then like here was like one of the highest numbers we're gonna get them. And it probably wasn't the highest number, but because it was one of my best friends doing this, he knew I'd say yes to like whatever, like I'd agree to be interviewed and I'd agree to be, and yeah, it was just twist of fate, right? Love hits you at the most unexpected times.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
But did you actually get to see her during 2020?
So this was like around June-ish. She left to go back to Northeastern for that semester, so we didn't meet, but then she came back in December. So we were just talking the whole time. Like, I thought once she left, it would all sort of, whatever. But she came back in December, and then we would each get tested before we met and stuff. And that's how we got together. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to do long distance again, knowing that I've just been out of a long distance relationship. I was super paranoid about COVID because I used to see my grandparents, which is why I would like... And
also, he's got nasal polyps.
And nasal polyps. And Inaya, my girlfriend, was like super willing. Like, she was willing to get tested. Like, which was, she would sometimes just get tested for me because she would meet people and I wasn't meeting anyone.
Right.
So, yeah, this was all in December. And then she went back to Boston and then I asked her out, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, now it's been 9 months, dude.
That's so... First off, this is such a lovely story.
Thank you.
It's so cute. Man, I'm inclined to believe that this is true.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's just so many ways you could meet the one or like who could be like your girlfriend. But it's so simple. Like in your last story, you were giving me all these visual details. You were really like going ham on like, look, here's this moment of suspense. I feel like there could have been something where it's like in the suspense of, ooh, should I ask her out, should I not? But
I was nervous. I'll be honest. I sort of, because my best friend is also her best friend, I just sort of asked him. I was like, do you think she's into me? And she had obviously spoken to him about it as well. So he was just like, bro, okay, I'm going to be like really I don't want to get involved with this, but like, if you ask her out, I think it'll go the way you want. And I was like, okay, amazing. So I had like assurance. Do you know what I mean?
Why'd you leave that detail out?
Because I just didn't think it was like interesting enough. I'll be honest. But, yeah.
I'm looking at Arjun a lot to see if I can read anything because I know he's probably heard. Obviously,
I am well aware of whether this story is true or false. I'm well aware.
It's great.
Yeah, he knows. He's met her. She came and stayed with us.
I'd assume if you guys are also roommates, you'd tell like, so this is how we met.
No, so I like called him up. Like, he was in America in 2020, and I was in India. And I called him and I was like, yeah, okay. I've started talking to this girl, blah blah blah. And it's like, It's a crazy story, right? Like, it's so like out of a rom-com. Like, oh, the data scientist who is trying to help him find love, he falls in love with, right? Like,
That's great. The data scientist who can't get a break.
Yeah.
Finally gets a break during working at her job.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those, like, obviously it isn't that cinematic because, like, okay, she wasn't a data scientist, B, it wasn't her job, but you know what I mean?
It's not the most cinematic story, but it's lovely.
Yeah,
meet cute.
It's a meet cute, yeah.
I literally told myself on the way here, I'm not going to get hitched up on the points. I'm just here for good stories and to tell
No,
good stories.
get hitched up
Yeah.
on
I'm
the
now
points,
hitched
man.
up. Yeah, I'm now hitched up on the points. Because I don't know what. The points aren't real, but I just want them.
Yeah.
I'm
Grill
going to eat
him
a
more.
cricket regardless.
No, man, you can't have a cricket if you lose.
Why do I say that? Okay,
So, yeah, dude, grill him more. This is the kind of the make or break for you.
sure, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, let me grill you. I'm gonna grill you a little more. Okay, what is there to grill on though? So
What was the app called?
I mean, it wasn't an app, it was a Google form at the time.
it was a Google form that
Yeah.
makes sense.
It was just called, I don't know, Love Search, I think.
What was the USC app called? Sorry.
I have no clue. I don't remember. The USC one is sad because the girl I got matched with, she followed me on Instagram and I accepted, and then she unfollowed me on Instagram. So I was like, okay. Yeah. The USC one, that was, yeah.
I'm trying not to break eye contact with Aman
Uh-huh.
to see what happens. So far, nothing has happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've told almost everyone this story. Like, I haven't had a chance to meet you in person, so obviously I haven't told you this story.
Sure.
And I thought it'd be a cool podcast story to
Oh, you
chat.
told everyone this story, huh? So that means that it's true, huh?
Yeah, I've told the story of how he's don't listen to this. Fucking around.
don't know if this is a double bluff.
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out the.
I've told a lot of people the story of how I met my girlfriend.
When I was telling my fake story, I was saying, I think I said the word truth. I don't know what I'm trying. I don't know what I'm trying to analyze.
Julian, you're reading way too much.
I
into
know,
that and you're analyzing
okay.
it. He's getting.
Well,
The gears are getting jammed.
the gears are getting jammed. There's a bunch of goo in the gears.
Gears.
In the gears. Okay. Well, look, I have no reason to think the story is fake. I have no reason to believe that anything any way that you've met this person, I can totally see that like it was a USC thing, because that makes sense. Nothing about it sounds that different unless I'm missing something huge. I'm not seeing anything different. I might have to just lock this in. I have guessed both true and false. I'm gonna have to say this one is true.
True. Are you locking it in?
I'm locking in true.
So I'm not even gonna ask Arjun because he knows whether it's true or false.
I know.
Drum roll, bro. Let's do this. The story is. I'm sorry, Julian. It's false. It's false. Yeah. I will tell you how I actually met my girlfriend.
Please, I think I deserve it.
Off mic because I want to.
Oh, sir.
Because I want to save this for another podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He's gonna have like repeating like. Is this how I met my girlfriend? No. Yes. No. Maybe.
It's just like how I met your mother, isn't it?
Yeah, but all these versions.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
But damn, that was a really fun episode.
That
though.
really
you
was,
did
dude.
great, honestly.
Thank you so much.
Since you did do so great, we're gonna let you eat a cricket.
I get a cricket.
Yeah, you got a cricket, and I'll
Okay,
do one
sure.
with you. Do you want to join us, Arjun?
You know what, fuck it, man. I'll have put this off long enough. Let's do it.
Arjun's gonna have
Do you
cricket.
want to open?
Yeah, I can open it for you.
Because I have been waiting for this for a week. I've been listening to this podcast. I'm like, I want a cricket.
We're thinking about making a cricket our mascot, and then
Yeah.
like make a gruesome video of us eating the mascot.
Ugh.
You know,
Oh my gosh.
like
You just like killed
Christopher the cricket.
Yeah,
Christopher the cricket. Is this Christopher? Is this who I'm meeting?
that's one of the Christophers.
Wow.
I'm just not gonna look at it. I'm
Just
gonna
don't look at
pop
it,
in
dude.
my mouth.
Yeah, just pop it in your
I'm
mouth.
looking at its eyes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Kind of. It's
Yeah,
not-
the eyes and the wings. That's what gets you.
The
Yeah.
wings?
Oh gosh.
Don't look at
Oh,
it.
it smells nice.
Oh gosh, I just felt it with my finger. I felt all scaly.
Okay, cheers,
scales.
boys.
Cheers!
Amazing. Okay, see you.
That was really good.
Right? Oh, this
It's like
actually tastes like
sunflower
salted vinegar. Right? That's what Kate said, dude.
It was very
Yeah,
good.
it's really not bad, dude.
That's what I said, man.
That's because I'm not looking at it. If I was looking at it,
You still have it in your hand?
I have like the. I have half a leg and a wing.
You want one more?
Yeah, I'll have another.
Or do you want to try a different
I'll try
flavor?
a different flavor. What
Yeah.
do we got?
Should we wrap up the podcast?
We should probably
Yeah, we can wrap up the podcast.
Sorry.
We'll
But,
do the cricket tasting off
yeah,
off record.
amazing episode. I think you did fantastic.
Yeah, thank you for coming on,
You said
dude.
you wanted to plug a comedy sketch.
My roommates and I have a YouTube sketch comedy show called Likeable, where we just post 1-minute videos every Friday. It's a lot of fun to do. We're just having fun with it.
Sounds amazing, dude. Yeah.
And Instagram?
Yes, you can follow me at Jules Magools, Jules_Magools. I don't, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and follow us at the Story Game.
Story Game Podcast, guys. Episode 5. That was
Episode
fun.
5, that was
Great
fun.
episode.
This is episode 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.